Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akiam. Once again, it's your brother Bawan back here with another video. And I've been watching this guy for a long time, for a while now, Young Don Reborn. And I recently just watched this debate that he had with that, and this was 7 months ago, so almost a year ago, and the debate that he had with another YouTuber. I know it's all of these, pro-Christian type of channels with these pushing this, pushing the whole doctrine of wacky Christianity for the most part. But he gets some parts of the scriptures right. Okay, he believes in the law and things like that, but the point still remains that he's calling upon the names of Jesus and God. Okay, which of course are false names. But the thing that actually got me was this debate right here that he had with this individual Hunter alone, and basically they were going back and forth about the different parts of the scriptures, but the main thing, okay, that they talked about was basically, and you see it from the title right here, debating Hunter Avalon, the LGBT and God. Okay, so the main thing they were supposed to go into, and they went back and forth, but the main thing that they were going into was the LGBT and whether it was lawful or not to be homosexual, basically, because the argument that was being made, and you have, Hunter Avalon on the left and Young Don Reborn, the guy that actually has the channel on the right, and the argument the man on the left was making was that, oh, the Most High 100% wanted, you know, accepts and allows, these modes to be running around the alternative lifestyle crew, not just the modes, but also the Chinese as well, basically because they were born that way, okay? And he was talking about the whole gay gene and how there are a certain amount of genomes and so on and so forth that determines whether you will be gay in the future or not, okay? Which of course we already know that the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai is the one that sets that up, okay? I'm not saying that there actually is a gay gene or anything like that. What I'm saying is that if it is your lot to be in that lifestyle, okay, that you will be, because the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahweh is in control of that, and He does, set up people to be in that lot, and the lot I'm talking about is basically the lot of a homosexual. Okay, so that is in the book of Romans, the first chapter, and the one thing that really gets you about watching these Christians and these atheists, do their debates is the prominent lack of scriptures. Okay, that's the first thing. No scriptures are being brought out. No scriptures are being spoken about. You might hear a few quotes from scriptures here and there, but for the most part, they aren't bringing out any scriptures, and all they are doing is just making thought arguments. Okay, using the vain words of men to try to break down the words of the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai, when there are precepts that can do that for you better. Okay, that live was 3 hours. That debate was 3 hours long, and throughout those 3 hours, scriptures are just flowing through my head that I could use to respond to any question these atheists ask you, and that's finished work. That's the end of this whole matter, man. And this is why the apostles and the elders always say that we don't do debates, because honestly speaking, if you really look at it, that none of these people out here in the world, can really debate with the man of the Lord, can really get into the scriptures with the man of the Lord, because they are not, and it's also, they are not, and it's something that Tariq Nasheed always says that he does, that he only debates with his peers. Anybody else he teaches, okay? And this is that it might sound proud, but this is the truth. The people of this world are not our intellectual, mates, okay? They are intellectually inferior to the men of the Lord, because they lack understanding. They lack wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai, which is the true wisdom on the earth. Okay, so now let's go into it. Romans 1, verse 20, and it reads, "For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse." And this clearly shows you, okay, this is the Apostle Paul telling you that it is obvious, okay, that the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua exists and that He is working on the earth, and you see all the different signs and wonders that prove that the Most High is, okay, and that He is the one that created the earth and He's the one that is in control and that He exists. But yet you still have these atheist types, you still have all these unbelievers out here, the pagans and so on and so forth, that say that there is no power, or that say that the Most High, however Hashem Yahushai, is not the power of the heavens and the earth. So now Romans 1 verse 21, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified Him not as the Most High, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And this is exactly what you see happening with the people of this world, where instead of worshiping the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, the scriptures say, in truth and sincerity, right? They became vain in their imaginations, their foolish heart was darkened, and they are giving themselves into all kinds of different lusts. So now, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, the scriptures, the understanding becomes whatever they want it to be, right? They shall heap unto themselves teachers having itching ears, because they only follow the people of this world, okay, the truthers, the heathen, the rest of the rest. No matter how much they say they believe in the Most High and His Son, okay, if they're not in this truth, if they don't believe in the 100% truth, and they don't follow the doctrine that we teach, once again, it might sound arrogant, but I don't care, because this is a fact, okay? If they don't follow the doctrine that we teach, they are going off, and they have, and they have itching ears, because now they are following another doctrine that is wayward, and there are hundreds of videos on YouTube done by different brothers across the whole world, different camps, showing you that these doctrines are off, no matter what doctrine you might want, you might choose to believe in. So now, Romans 1 verse 23, and change the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds, and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. And that is your pagans, that's your atheists, that's your unbelievers as a whole. So now they took the image of the Most High, the incorruptible image of the Most High, Yahweh Basham Yahshai, which we all know, okay, is a dark, is a, if he walked on the earth, if he had a human appearance, it would be as a dark-skinned man. And what did they do? They turned him into an Edomite, they turned him into a leprous man, okay? They defiled the image of our power. And of course, they defiled the image of the anointed, our Lord Yahweh Shai as well. That's why you see this white Jesus everywhere. That's the defiled image right there. Okay, that's just an example of what we're talking about right now. Since we are doing this in the context of a Christian debating an atheist, but now we're getting to the main point right here. Romans 1 verse 24. Therefore, the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, also give them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. And this is what the people of this world do. They revere the creations more than the one that made them. Okay, you know, for the customs of the heathen are vain. That is in the book of Jeremiah 10 verse 3. For he go out to the field and he cutteth down a tree, made it, and let's just quickly jump to that. And there's also another one, I believe that is Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 16, I believe, that is going into the folly of these idols, okay? Showing you, showing you the folly of these nations, man, following after these idols that they don't see, they don't hear, they have no power. Okay, they just a plank of wood or a plank of stone that was carved by the hands of a craftsman, but yet people still bow to it and worship it, sacrifice to it, do festivals and celebrations in the name of it, but it has nothing. But let's continue reading. So this is the book of Jeremiah 10 verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good. And that's right, because these idols, they have no power. But the people of this world will still cleave unto them. They worship the creature that has no power, more than the creator that gives the power to the creature. Okay. So anyway, continue on. Romans 1 verse 26. For this cause the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, bond in their lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error which was meat. And what is this speaking about? Is speaking about those homosexual relationships. So a man living the natural use of the woman, what is the natural use of the woman for sex, okay? And going after other men. And this was commonplace during the Roman Empire. All right, we know how nobody needs to even talk about. We don't really talk about it so much. We know how Esau gets down. Okay, we know they get down at the. They get down at these Edomites. You know how Esau gets down. This was commonplace in the Roman Empire, which is why the Apostle Paul was even. So, okay, which is why the Apostle Paul was even going into it and showing you and telling you that these homosexual male relationships, right? The alternative lifestyles are still against the scriptures. But you have Christians, of course, Christians, and you never know, man. Let me not even. I don't want to say it out loud, but you never know. You might have some people in the Lord's house. Going into the I'm talking about in the context of Zephaniah 1 verse 10, right? That's the Most High will start his judgment from the house of Israel. And if we begin with us, what shall be the end for the heathen? And you have some people in the Lord's house that might even start to push that same doctrine as well. But basically, what you have right now in plantation Christianity is that, it's okay to be a Mo, right? It's okay to be more the Most High supports them more relationships. They don't even have these alternative lifestyle pastors and priests. They walk around in that scarf with the rainbow scarf, right? But this is what the scriptures say, and they'll tell you that, oh well, the scriptures don't explicitly condemn, the more alternative lifestyle actions, homosexual acts. I don't want to say what I want to say because of the YouTube algorithm, and they could very well take down this video. Okay, they'll say that the scriptures don't explicitly condemn it. They'll read that Romans 1 and they'll say that in the Greek, right? Let's go to that a little bit. Because this is the arguments they were making, and I was just laughing when I was listening to the argument because we already know what the scriptures say. Basically, the argument is that in the Greek, it says, I've forgotten the word I used. This isn't, but I don't think this is it here. Because remember, the word should be pornos. Yes. Was it pornos? I've forgotten. I think that was the word. I don't think it was here, but basically, they say that in the Greek, right? Yeah, so like about that, the phone got cut off. That's what I was saying. They was tell you that, oh well, in the Greek, the Apostle Paul didn't ever say the term homosexual or outrightly condemn, that alternative lifestyle acts because you had, well, it's all kinds of argument, all kinds of madness. They don't really make, you know how these Christians are, how these Christians are with their wayward arguments and their wayward doctrines. They never make it clear, when somebody is going, when somebody knows they are going off, and this is how somebody is going off is when they can never make their arguments or they can never, state their doctrine clearly. It's always some confusion that they're trying to bring in. Oh, that's not what that means. Okay, since that is not what it means, then please tell us, what does it mean? And then you hear, it's just blankness. You just, them staring emptily at you because they themselves don't know what to say next, But let's go and get these precepts. The scriptures say, if a man, and this is all really right here that you need to bring out. And this was the thing that really pissed me off the most. about listening to that argument, listening to that debate, is that this precept right here ends everything. Okay. Oh, well, you see that the scriptures don't speak against homosexuality or don't speak against the alternative lifestyle or anything like that. Well, listen to this. Leviticus 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And basically, you already know what that means, okay? And what the scriptures tell you is that this alternative lifestyle act is abomination, okay, an abomination to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So what I want to do is I want to get this word abomination, and that's basically all you have to say to them, okay? When somebody tells you that, oh, well, what's so wrong with that wicked way, okay? With being a mole, what's so wrong with being a mole? Well, first and foremost, it's an abomination in the eyes of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And of course, you are going off because you are breaking a commandment with the Most High made, which is, surely a man shall leave his wife, shall leave his mother and his father, not his mother and his mother, or his father and his father, but his mother and his father, and go and find a wife, not a husband, okay? Not a woman finding a wife, okay? But a man finding a woman, and the twain shall become one flesh. So, and you also have these Christian churches that are actually doing, marriages for moles, okay, and for the alternative lifestyle crew, you know, which is, of course, once again, going off according to the scriptures because they cannot be united because, once again, it is an abomination in the eyes of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So this is the word abomination. Tawa, ta. I'm trying to figure out tai. I know that tayai. I know that that's the ta, that's the ya, that's the wa, that's the ta, that's the wa, that's the I. Tawa I or ta. Let's just use this one here. This one is easier to understand. And this one is the same, almost the same as tawab, which in the in the Hebrew. But this isn't tawab. This is ta'ib. Ta'ib. So that's ta'ib, which means let me just play the audio. H8581. Ta'ev. Ta'ev. So the word is ta'ib. Ta'ib, which means to abhor, be abominable, do abominably, to be abhorred, be detested in a ritual sense, in the ethical sense, to loathe, abhor, regard as an abomination in the ritual sense, in the ethical sense. So you already know what it is. The Most High, let's not even go that far, okay? Because you know what, Esau, Edom, and how they act on the YouTube, Esau will get the elites of Israel will personally get offended when you start condemning these people because, once again, we know how they get down. Okay, we know what they get down is with these Edomites out here, man. We know what they do behind the closed doors. Okay, everybody at this point knows, but the people of this world never outwardly condemn these devils for what they do, because if you are of the world would hate you. I mean, if you are of the world would love you. They love these devils. They love the elites of Esau, Edom. That's how it is. So anyway, you already got in that, okay, okay, and that is the law concerning the alternative lifestyle, concerning being a mole. And let me also get this as well. That I think that goes: a woman shall not wear what pertaineth to a man, neither shall a man wear what pertaineth to a woman. Okay. Yeah, it is. It's pertinent, not pertinent. Anyway, Deuteronomy 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto Yahweh thy power. So that nullifies the cross dressing and also the T parts of the alternative lifestyle crew. Okay. And of course, let me also get the finish up. Let me close out with this precept right here. I believe that should be the book of Genesis, the second chapter or so. At the end. So this is the book of Genesis 2 verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And that is the law that the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai made concerning marriages and concerning sexual unions between two people, two individuals. It is always male and female, okay? So with that, I'll end the video right there, because if I go in any longer, man, Esau is going to just take down the video completely before I say something that is out of course, in this world, of course, but completely right in context. But anyway, with that, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahawashai, Ba'asham Rakak, Wadash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit, I hope you are calm and you are quiet, edified. Shalom.